Hey everyone, it's Grixon. It's been a little bit of time, hasn't it? So, yeah, I got 1K subscribers. That's awesome. Thank you everyone for that. We got a new puppy. My daughter finished her chemotherapy. A lot of good things happening. So I'm trying to take a little bit of time to do a review of a key I did a few days ago before the reset. So this is pre-nerf Blood Decay. And this is a 22 halls that I'm playing Kyrian because, you know, that's when we still had 75 stacks. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So when you come in here, you want Dancing Rune Weapon up because you want those 2 Dancing Rune Weapons. So when you blood boil, they trigger it as well. So it's a lot of extra threat if you can blood boil while your Dancing Rune Weapons are up. So once we're almost out of runes here, we're going to do Shackledy and Worthy. And then we're going to spread Shackledy and Worthy because it's going to give us free heart strikes. So this is a way to get to 75 stacks really easily and then maintain it. See, I still have like 10 seconds of Dancing Rune Weapon up even though I'm at 75 stacks. And if you're using Mechanicos, look, I almost have Shackledy and Worthy again to do it again. So as long as you can pull fast and reliably, you can keep this reset cycle going. See, right here, I'm even going to start spreading. And it's doing it at that amount. So if you look at my damage here, I'm doing like 22k overall on these pulls. And my Dancing Rune Weapon's already back. So as I'm running, I'm trying to heart strike as I'm running so it doesn't fall off. That's kind of like, you can kind of run like sideways. So your back isn't to them. So you can still heart strike but still get like a good amount of run speed. It's kind of something you can do there. So I need to get this guy in, but I've already used my grip before, and my mass grip wasn't off cooldown yet. Try and get that. So I'm back on Plater. I've tweaked Plater quite a bit to get it to be how I like it. So if anybody wants my Plater profile, I'll put it up on Wago. It's pretty inspired by Quasi, and then I hacked on it quite a bit to make it how I like it. So if you want that, let me know. Yeah, bursting's still an issue. And so with the 4-piece, we don't mind going down to 1 bone shield stack. Like just going down to 1 bone shield is fine. Because when your 2 Dancing Rune Weapons are out, you're going to do a Mara Rend at 1, and it's going to give you 9. So you'll be at perfect 10. So it's okay to go down to 1. But if you are going to do, Tombstone, you kind of want to be at like 8 for Tombstone. Like 8 is a good amount to be at. So if you're around there, you can Tombstone, you'll be relatively fine. So I'm just going to keep pulling. I'm just going to keep chaining this stuff in. You know, I can handle it. It's a 22. It was a tyrannical bursting volcanic. Like, it was like the easiest push week of my life. So I just pulling like a madman as much as I could allow myself to. So you see I'm doing like 22k. Again, I can't stress this enough. This is pre-nerf when we were at 75 stacks, and I could with Kyrian, I could just straight up maintain 75 stacks. Like, it wasn't hard to do. So now that we are at a 40%, or now that we have 40 stacks as our max, I'm going to compare. I'm going to do the same dungeon again on a, another week, and we'll compare what the damage is. It can't be perfect, obviously, because I can't do the exact same week affix again, but, that's the best I can do there. I'm just going to grip those dudes in. And again, we want to put a blood boil or 2 in with the Dancing Rune Weapon up. So how it works is, if you didn't know, Dancing Rune Weapon spawns a rune weapon to follow you that mimics your attacks at 33% value. Because of our 2-piece, or is it a 4-piece? Whatever. Because of tier, we have a second one spawn. So now you have 2 of them. So when you blood boil, you're getting, they will both blood boil at 33% value. So your blood boil is pretty much at 166% of damage, like of threat too. So you want to use that to your advantage as much as possible, especially if you're playing Kyrian, because you don't have a lot of upfront threat as Kyrian. You probably have the least amount of upfront threat of all the Covenants as Kyrian, because all your extra damage you are using at the end of your rune cycle. So you're going to go to a pack, you're probably going to put down Death and Decay, you're going to do Dancing Rune Weapon, you're going to Blood Boil, and then you're going to start Heart Striking like crazy, and then top off rune your shield if you need it. And then once you're out of runes, you're going to Shackle the Unworthy, and then just spread like crazy, so that way you can just get all those runes back. I think you'll see it right here. See, I'm going, and then I Shackle. Oh wait, no, I started getting runes fast. Why was I getting runes so fast? Oh, I ended up Shackling anyways, and then just going. So, you know, Shackle the Unworthy gives you strength as well. You know, I don't even care how many mobs I'm fighting. I just don't. But, you know, Dancing Rune Weapon gives you so much parry, and you're so stable. Like, the more the better. I didn't care. As long as, you know, as long as bursting wasn't an issue, I just kept sending it. So, our damage was very high throughout this first half of the dungeon. So I'm at 1 Bone Shield stack. I hit Morrowind once, used 2 runes, and then I was at 10. I'm at 75 stacks, about to run out, and then we have Dancing Rune Weapon again for the next pull. So a little shout out here to, I joined a guild recently. I was in like one of the big guilds in Tychondrius, and I never talked to anybody. It wasn't that great of an experience. They were always just spamming guild chat. It kind of just sucked. So I joined this guild called Dark Tranquility on Tychondrius, and you know, they're pretty small. They're kind of just filling up some Mythic Plus spots right now, and they have intentions to raid, but you know, right now they're kind of just a smaller group, and they're all pretty nice. So if you're on Tychondrius, and I don't know, if you ever want to be guildies or something, you know, definitely check them out. It's Dark Tranquility. If you ever want to be in kind of like a smaller guild, you know, if you're raiding and stuff, it probably won't be the best for you at this exact moment. But I mean, I know that they have plans to raid. But for me, this is perfect. So getting kicks where we can, just, you know, it's the normal stuff. Like again, the rotation for 4-piece is going to be, you probably want to Death and Decay from a distance to let that rune start recharging. You get 2 melee, you Dancing Rune Weapon, then you Blood Boil, then you start Heart Striking. Then you Shackle the Unworthy, spread it to get your runes back, because you're getting free Heart Strikes while this Shackle is spreading. Then you have your runes back to Dancing Rune Weapon, to Heart Strike some more. And then at the same time, you're kind of balancing just putting Blood Boils in occasionally. It's kind of a lower priority now, but putting them in when you can. Making sure your Bone Shield stacks don't drop past 1. And then Tombstone, if you think that you pretty much want to be Tombstone if you know this pack is going to die fast and you're not going to have Dancing Rune Weapon for the next pack, that's when Tombstone is nice, because then you can bring that cooldown for Dancing Rune Weapon faster. But if you know, like, you're just going to get it again, what's the point? You know, like, if the cooldown's going to be done, there's just no point using it. And which will happen a lot if you pull big and it takes a while to kill it. So, it's kind of like a judgment call there. I accidentally hit my achievements thing there. I was trying to hit T, as in Tom. T is my button for Dancing Rune Weapon. And I think I just overextended and hit Y and brought the achievements up. So, yeah. Just going to town. I killed that extra pack. I'm over count because I wanted to get the gargoyle up top. So now everybody's getting their stuff here. Archie went and got that one. And I'm just going to grab threat on them so they don't just auto attack our team. So I'm going to hit both. Going to just put a Blood Boil on them, I think. Until they're both grabbed. Oh, I think his thing messed up there. Yeah, I think it messed up. Okay. Give me a second while it starts. Yeah, so here we're just trying to maintain, make sure that, you know, we're taking care of beams. Okay, sorry about that. I had a phone call right in the middle of a recording session. Yeah, sorry for the lack of communication there. This fight is pretty straightforward. There's nothing really to know here. There's nothing that changes with the tier set. It's just managing the gargoyles and then managing the puddles well. That's all there is. I'm standing in this right now just because I'm eating a crumbling slam. And I can see that beams are coming up in a couple seconds, so I need to move more. And then just watching out for my teammates as much as I can. So I actually reacted slowly there. I should have reacted earlier. So that was a mistake on my part. So I put an AMZ down for our enhancement shaman, Moody Tiger. He's not one of our normal pushers, but you know, he's a supporter of the channel, and I've been playing with him for 2 seasons now, so he's a good dude. Slam. Just always making sure that you're aware of like where your team is, so you don't put a crumbling slam on them. And it's, if you can, it's actually good to put an icon on yourself so your team can just see where you are as a tank, to know not to be in your area. Beams coming up. I need to move out of the way again. Again, I reacted a little late. Unfortunately, that one was put there. That sucks that that one, he did a heap debris right there. But works out fine. So here we're just going to use the Rogue Shroud. That's Nezo. You guys have seen him a bunch of times. He also has a YouTube channel, pretty successful. If you want to go to his channel, go ahead and click the top right, and it'll take you there. Alright, now we're going to start second boss. I think our healer wanted to drink a little bit before we started, so I ended up just sitting there kind of waiting for a second. So yeah, we're just going to go into our normal stuff. You know, you can try and shackle right there on the mobs, but I think I'm saving it for these guys here. Yeah, I think I'm bringing them in, and then I think I'm going to shackle this. Yeah, I did. So I'm trying to spread it, but the problem with Kyrian, like I said, is they just don't have a lot of upfront threat. So our rogue actually took aggro from me on the little guys because I was trying to spread shackle to them, but I should have just blood boiled twice. Like, to make sure that I have threat, I should have blood boiled twice, or I should have done Bone Storm. That was kind of a misplay on my part. Not doing Bone Storm, not double blood boiling on them. I was trying to do a greed play to get my 75 stacks and keep them. So I'm at 75 stacks on a boss. And here I'm just trying to hard strike as much as possible, keep it alive, you know, blood tap. Just everything I can to get that going. Your Bone Storm benefits greatly from your increased strength stats. Your increased strength from your tier. So if you can do it at your max stacks, which is now 40, it's a hefty amount of extra damage. Yeah, this kind of kills your Dancing Rune weapon uptime when you have to do these things. You know, these stuns. I'm about to run out of stacks. Quickly I hit it a little late, but you know, it worked out fine. So now I'm already out of runes again, or out of Dancing Rune weapon again. See, there I double blood boiled, but I didn't have Dancing Rune weapon for it to really like you know, beef up. Alright. So, boss dies, and then we just keep going. We have plenty of time right now, so it's not really an issue. I'm going to take this time. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you can see more content as I come out with it. Yeah. You know, if you want to keep supporting, please like and comment. You know, no gun to your head. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, but you know, for the algorithm, I should be saying these things, and hoping it helps my channel grow more as I continue to put out Blood DK content. Alright, so I am running these back with rocket boots. I'm unsure why I'm doing that, but I don't know. I guess I just wanted it all to be over here. But I don't have aggro on everything. So it's hard to be doing Dancing Rune Weapon correctly when you're also worried about aggro. It's just kind of like a flow kind of thing you have to get used to. Now if you have Icebound Fortitude, you can just pop that and stay in there and you won't get stunned by the Dismantler. So that is a oh, look at that, I ran out a bunch of stacks. That's not good. But yeah, if you play well, you should be able to keep your stacks up high, especially if you're Kyrian. Now that 40 is the max stacks, it really opens up potential for other covenants now. So I could see Night Fae being very, very good for any kind of pushing content. Yeah, I got awkward here because I wanted to bring all these, but I wanted to also get the relics. The relics don't aggro unless you actually hit one. Like if you just tag these guys, the relics don't just follow. Like I don't understand why, but they don't. So we instead decide to make the play of, you know what, that's fine. We'll just fight them at the boss. So then we can get Vi and It's a tyrannical boss anyway, so we might as well. Ooh. A little bit of a hiccup there on my computer. My old GTX 1080 is just chugging. So I'm just putting them here real quick so he can grab them. And then I think we're going to kill Vi right now. Actually, I do drag them up. I just wanted it to die before I pulled. And then I just start the boss. So now we have the 2 Stoneborns giving us 10% DR each. And then they're also doing damage. Now we're going to get we're going to kill Vi and So I kind of try to keep them together somewhat. Like if Interceptor jumps, I try and somewhat get close to that as well. So we, you know, people can just AoE it a bit as well. So if you can help that, it's great. So now we got a lot of haste. Like what are we at right now, haste? 68%. It's pretty good. On a non-bloodlust. So we're at 75 stacks. We might as well throw a shackle in this, right? Am I going to? Oh, I was worried about my Dancing Rune Weapon, so I was just trying to spam it. Like I even just let my Bone Shield stacks fall. I just didn't care. And I did end up keeping it alive and doing a shackle. So that was kind of nice. So that's why I'm doing 13k on a boss right now. So again, this is kind of why we needed to be tuned down a little bit. We were just a little out of control. Like I'm beating the enhancement shaman just by playing. Like, you know, that kind of doesn't feel good to be. I mean, it feels great for me being a tank out beating a DPS, but It doesn't feel good as a DPS to have your tank be beating you on single target. But yeah, because the haste is gone, I'm not going to be able to keep up. I'm not going to be able to get to 75 stacks again. So my damage will start to trickle down quite a bit. And then yeah, just kicking the volleys of power. I try and bring him to an urn early. So if like we end up like when a ghost comes out, we're already at the urn, so it's not such a big deal. Like we don't have to have as much downtime. Like as if a melee gets it, they have to run to the urn. So you kind of want like the boss to be with it, so they can keep hitting while they're running to the urn, or while they're at the urn. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Chicken wing, jelly bean. Okay. Sorry, this boss is boring. Like, this boss could have been so interesting, but it's like one of the most snooze fest bosses of all the whole Shadowlands. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab this little section right here and grab the urns with me, or the relics with me, and kind of just do my stuff. So I'm gonna use my abilities, and then I'm gonna start just shackle spreading. And I'm trying to use that benefit of shackle spreading to all of these things to help do damage, but then also, you know, reset my stack. See, like I'm full on runes. Like I'm rune flooded because of shackle right there. So it spread 5 times. It had 5 applications, so I got 5 free heart strikes out of it. That's why my dancing rune weapon is at 75 stacks, and I still have 12 seconds left on it. It's kind of insane how we were tuned for quite a while. So 40 stacks, I think you're still gonna feel fine. Like toughness wise, you're gonna feel fine. You're not gonna be doing so much AoE damage all the time. That's the only thing. Like, I mean, I'm doing 24k in this room and holding. It's not like I bursted up high and then just stopped. Like, it just kept going. So if you look, we still have 9 minutes. Like, obviously with 3 minutes to spare, we're not going to double upgrade this. It's probably going to be close. I don't remember exactly. We might have been like 40 seconds off or something like that at the end. So after this, we got a 23 spires that we timed with like 4 minutes left on the spires as well. Like this week that just happened was incredibly easy. Like that 23 spires was like, it didn't feel too hard. It was fine the whole way. So unfortunately, I didn't have enough time personally to, oh, look at that Archie just got slammed. Sorry. I didn't have enough time personally to do a 24. I wish I did. Like, all of our schedules just didn't line up for a while. I played this really poorly. I didn't have my my AMS for the Stigma of Pride. I had it like desynced from what it should be, and it's just me messing up. That on a tyrannical boss, those things just start to really hurt. And as Blood Decay, you can negate the application of every other one. And that was just a mess up on my part. The dot is very back-loaded, so all the damage happens at like the last 5 seconds of the dot. So you kind of have to have a lot of defensive cooldowns ready for it, or some heart strikes in the bank for it. So yeah, there's not too much more to talk about this boss. Just, you know, doing it. We coordinated to do AMZ on the second one of these phases. So this one here is the one that we're going to, yeah, it's Ritual of Woe. We're going to put AMZ on this one. The first one we did defensives. This one we're doing. Unfortunately, it got kind of weird right there. I don't know what was going on. but we all kind of like micro adjusted to try and cover it, and then like it would free up another one. And again, there's another. Actually, I stopped that application. I was able to do AMS and not get that stigma of pride, so that was nice. Another thing I could have done better here is I could have used my shackle more often. I pretty much was only using it when I was out of runes to replenish them, but it's up so often. I should have used it even when it was on like cooldown, like when I didn't have dancing rune weapon up. So I pretty much only ever used it when I had dancing rune weapon up and when I was low on runes. So I probably could have optimized that better. So yeah, we'll talk about the nerf, and I'll post a key on when it's only 40 stacks as well, so we can kind of compare and see other covenants as well. I still think Night Phase is going to be very strong now, being able to benefit from the 20% strength from the Death and Decay, as well as the 40% strength from the tier. So 16 points, I did 13.4k overall damage and 8.1k healing. So yeah, very strong key, a very easy key on this week of affixes. What'd I get? Yeah, just whatever. Alright, I should be able to show you the damage and breakdown right here. Of course, our dude did 20 something k. So yeah, Heart Strike obviously gonna be big, Shackle big. And there's my healing. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.